Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is April 3rd. It is a beautiful Monday morning in New York City, the Bronx, New York, of course. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is 44 degrees and it's sunny. It's beautiful. I had a nice start to the day. If you know me, you know I wake up early. I'm an early riser. I wake up around, 4:30, 5 o'clock. But I woke up with a grateful heart and I went to sleep with a grateful heart, and here I am. Shout out to the replay gang. You have the best seat in the house. And shout out to the Bush watchers. And of course, shout out to the podcast listeners. I hope everyone had a great start to your day. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Whatever you may have done over the weekend, as long as it was done safely and, you had joy in your heart. So, today is Monday, and I got my day started a little bit earlier. I'm not going to stay too long, but I'm going to, ask everyone what's on their mind if they want to share, have any comments, or they want to talk about anything particular. This is the opportunity, and this is the channel to do so, is to drop down what you may wish you want to talk about. But I was, over the weekend, I do look over YouTube, but I look at a different type of content. I usually do the political news and the fashion. That's what I keep up on during the weekend, stuff like that, progressive news. But I shared something on my wall about, because I want to do relationships topics, and there are people that I would like to, respond to and react to other content. And I've been browsing, and someone came up in my timeline. Good morning, Coco Love. Coco Love is in the building. Good morning to Coco Love. And I shared on my channel, as a post, what's his name? Is Lucky's Life Lessons. And what gets me about these titles, is what attracts me to the titles, are the division between men and women. It's like you create a division when, when you title your videos something like masculine men, and every title it includes masculine men, and then the title that like falls behind it, so follow behind it. And I'm just like kind of like, relationship, I think content, I think I gotta not down pack, but I think I could do a good job in, because everyone have their own opinions and thoughts about relationships and have their own perception and insight. And this is where I share my insight and my perspective, and it's all about perception. So, I'm going to learn how to download the video and upload it to the StreamYard so we could break it down together in real live time. I just feel like when men, excuse me, when men use that term, that slogan, that motto, that cliche, women are emotional and men are logic. They think with logic. But we here on the Bronx Girl platform are made up of women and men. And we here on the Bronx Girl platform, the women included, the men included, we can dissect and decipher many of those things that these men say. And they have a community called the Red Pill and the Manosphere, where they found somewhere they can go and feel welcome and feel like someone can relate to them. But most of the people in the Manosphere and the Red Pill community, the Black Pill community, and the Alpha Male and the Sigma Males, all of those communities, right, that they have labeled themselves, and they had, put a stone. I don't know if it's written in stone. I don't know if they drew the land in the stand, because I feel like I feel like they are misogynistic. They devalue, demean, and degrade women, right? And they show and prove their hatred for women and how angry they are. I'm not saying that they are horrible people. It's just not like the type of guy or the men I would desire that have those thoughts and behaviors and that ideology and that behavior. So I highlighted one. I don't want to go through it because I'm just warming up the show. I highlighted one, Lucky's Life Lesson. He put masculine men know when to remain silent with women. Like he had another video that like just shows that he lacks logic and he doesn't have too much of a say on his own without I just feel like most of them sound scripted when they say, well, women are emotional and men are more logical. That's a lie. That's an outright lie, right? So if a woman like me that could hold her own and come forward and dissect this video and decipher and tear up every part of the video, they will consider it an argument, right? Arguments are good, positive, healthy, needed, right? Debates, when you debate someone, if it's positive, you stick to the points, you stick to the format, you just stick to the topic, it will be okay. So when men say, trying to use that, like, oh, why are women so argumentative? That's because you've been defeated. You don't have nothing else to say, right? It probably is hard for a lot of men to go against, and not against, like to just debate a smart, intelligent woman, a confident woman, a woman who has standards. That's what their problem is. It's like mostly of the manosphere. Like women have standards. If it's high standards, maybe they can request those high standards. If it's like a low type of standard, maybe that's where the women that have low standards, and low standards don't necessarily have to be a bad thing, right? Like you can have low standards and say, well, I want a guy. If I'm working, I make a decent amount of money. I'm not like fantasizing. And I know it's like out of touch with reality for me to say, oh, well, I can pull a 6-figure man. I can pull a billionaire, a millionaire, and I'm working, like probably just a low wage paying job, right? That's probably just something that luck come across. Right. Thank you, Coco Love. And I'm glad that you said that, Coco Love. Thank you. My chat is so beautiful. They just know me so well. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was talking to one of my friends. And usually when I talk to men, I talk to them and I'm open and I'm honest and I'm attentive. I listen well. I communicate well. Of course, there's going to be a back and forth, right? Usually when men say, oh, you're argumentative, you're difficult, those are the ones that have been defeated. And those are the ones that does not know how to produce or have a decent conversation, because they're not used to a certain or particular pedigree of women like us that know how to like have a discussion without it getting heated, right? And that brings me to my point. Men are emotional. They just don't know how to deal with it, right? So I told one of my friends that I spoke to the same thing. I said, men are more emotional than women. And that is a fact. Right? Just like Coco Love came and she confirmed it, and I didn't ask her to. I just got it started. Men just don't know how to deal with it. They repress their emotions so they don't have to deal with it or confront it. Women probably have like what, a 5-minute freak out, right? But they cannot determine, they cannot define how a woman is more emotional, and a man is more logical. Because if men are more logical, why do they account for and are responsible for like being mass, notoriously killers, right? Why are they like more men in jail? Why are they? I don't even want to get into that part of why. Women are not perfect. We are not perfect. Even though that, men want us to be. And when you do get a perfect woman, you don't know how to handle it either way. Right. So that brought me to my point. I shared it in one of my true and genuine supporters, Lasania. She's not in here yet, but if she's listening, she brought something to my attention, and his name is Kevin Wesley. Kevin Wesley, I guess he's the brother of LaTruth, and that saga right there was something I didn't even think was worth touching on or even like paying attention to, because it didn't really interest me. But I saw his brother along the way when all that took off, and just with LaTruth, and his brother was in the forefront talking like he was some type of leader or mayor or something of importance. And someone Ben told me, I think I came across that he is in a poly relationship, which, I don't knock nobody relationships. I just want to know and understand. I would never understand a poly relationship. I'm sorry. You can explain it to me from A to Z, right? I will respect it, but I won't understand it. And that's something that I would not even praise at all. That's not something I would even like give light to. But what's his name? Kevin Wesley, he did a video on Tyrese, because And one of his titles, and this is what I be talking about with men. You talking about you're more logical and you're not even aware of yourself. You show your insecurities. You project your insecurities onto other men or onto the world. And you think we as a whole who have a difference of opinion. Lasagna is in the building. Detroit is in the building. That is my Lasagna, the one who knows how to steer me in the right direction. She said she wanted to talk about Kevin Wesley, and we're talking about Kevin Wesley. And I'm going to do so in the most respectful way to Kevin Wesley and his family and to my listeners and to the audience. I didn't tag his name because when I tag his name and people come across the video, I want them to come in and have the idea that I'm not trashing this man, but he can get critique also because I see he give critique, right? So with that being said, Kevin Wesley, I don't know too much about him. I just have to get, if you can help me, give me how you say it, Lasagna. I was on the phone at work when you that's okay, Lasagna, you could tune in. You don't even listen, you tune in and you don't even have to let me know you here. I feel your presence. I know the deal, right? So Kevin Wesley, I really don't know too much about him, but just by looking at him, I can have a sense of who he is, and him having a poly relationship, which I think is just disgusting to me. And it's not to judge. And not, when I say disgusting, I'm just saying like in his situation, right? If you're going to be a man that's a family that's poly, I feel like the optics of it have to be a little bit more stronger. I feel like the economics of it has to be a little bit stronger. It has to be a little bit more interested. And in this chat and in this just like summary of Kevin Wesley and his family, with respect to the women that is fully grown and has fully consented, that's okay. I don't have a problem with a woman deciding that a poly is the best for her, right? Because it's not the best for me, nor will it ever be, and nor will I ever consider it, right? I don't conform. I like my freedom and my independence. A lot of women do. That's why we're here, because we value our freedom and independence. And just in a snippet of some of his videos when he was critiquing Tyrese, a multi-millionaire, a national star, a talented young man, and you had the nerve to say in your video, I can't even play the video because I wanted to go along with my my audience. He says, what does he say? Tyrese Gibson girlfriend emasculate him on live. How dare you say another man was emasculated? That's why we're here. We're not going to emasculate you. We'll probably just bring some awareness that you lack because of your biased opinions, and you think Tyrese and other men are supposed to follow in your lead, or you think what you're doing is like top billing. It's not. And you know you know what I mean? Like, listen, Coco love to each his own, but hell no. Exactly, to each his own, but hell no. But see, I'm here taking the L for my audience and for my subscribers. I'm doing it for the audience. I'm doing it for my supporters. I'm doing it for my community, a voice of reason. They're going to hate me because I'm going to show them that we do not think the same. They said men or women are different. Of course, aesthetically, we're different. In many ways, men and women are alike, right? So if you were born from a mother and the doctor slapped you on the ass and you cried, we basically have something in common, right? We both came from women. We both are human. We both have feelings. We all have feelings. We probably see things and hear things differently. But if you are a human and I am a human, which I am, I believe I am, right? Just because I don't conform, that don't mean I'm not a human. We're not that different, okay? You know what, Lasagna, oh man, now Lasagna, you got me doing a lot of homework, but that's okay though. You getting me where I need to be started. I think you referring and recommending this video was a great start. I was like, wow, thank you, Lasagna. I feel like this is something that I can do and pertaining to relationships. So shout out to Lasagna just for giving me that push. And shout out to Coco Love and anybody else that's in the building watching this show in this live broadcast, right? And that's another thing. I want the audience to go along with it. I want to play the video. We stop it. We do reaction. I got to do all. I don't know how to do all that, and I'm just embarrassed to say that I haven't fully taken the time to learn, because sometimes I get scared. Right. So, I'm not a fan of Tyrese, and he can sing, and I listen to him, even though I'm not a fan of his like that. But once I listen to a man that I'm not like interested in, I get into parts of his thoughts. And a lot of Tyrese music, he share who he is as a man, right? He is no different from any other man that want love, that seek tenderness and fondness and want to be respected. But, he, as many other men, don't think it's out there. But Tyrese music is something that I listen to. The words are penetrating, and it's beautiful. His words, he can sing really well. He's very talented. And that's about it. You can, don't be, we here. Thank you, Lasania and Coco Love said. We can practice with us. Thank you. I will. I'm going to. That's what we're going to do. Y'all just going to show me. It's going to be in real time. He's setting things up. I love his chocolate cell. I love Tyrese. He is very emotional. And not, you know what? Listen, in his defense, right? So I'm just going to go off top. And Lasania, if you want to drop any, add any like comments or commentary to what I say, because I didn't fully watch it. I gathered who Kevin Wesley was as a man. I feel like he's insecure and he has emotional needs that's not going to ever be met. I don't care how many women he has around him and what they do and say for him, that's never going to satisfy him. He's a man that's never going to be satisfied, right? And I could go into details as to why. But Tyrese was on a live with his girlfriend, right? And they were discussing how they met. So Tyrese popped up and said, and the way Tyrese, he was sitting down in the chair, he was dressed in a robe, and I guess he had like, I don't know, a beanie on, right? So his girlfriend was standing up behind him, rubbing his shoulders. She had long braids. She's kind of thick, not kind of thick, but she is thick, right? So they were talking, and Tyrese explained that he met his currently girlfriend that he's with now in the DMs, and he usually don't go in the DMs, right? So, but the thing that popped out to most people, Kevin Wesley, he felt like, really insecure about and confused about when Tyrese's girlfriend said, "Oh, he wasn't my type. Paul Walker was more of my type," right? Granted, she should not have said that much. I can understand her saying that Tyrese wasn't her type, right? Just because you have a type, that does not mean you are compatible, right? She said, "Oh, I wasn't Tyrese type either." That just goes to show you that people that says they have types, right? It's bullshit. Because just because you have a type, that don't mean you're compatible. They did get to know each other. And she did say in the midst of it, "Oh, it's like a love story." She was rubbing his arms and telling him to hush. He was a little bit offended, and he got a little bit taken back by what she said. I could see her saying, "Well, he wasn't my type." Okay, that's understandable. When she said what her type is, Paul Walker, he got a little upset. He should have. He didn't get upset to the point where he like started to throw shit around and started to fucking huff and puff his chest out. He took it in stride. So Kevin has this notion in his head that Tyrese was emasculated. No, he wasn't. How can another man emasculate another man? If you are a man, he presented all these things. Kevin Wesley, who is the most insecure man I ever seen in my life, just by a few snapshots. I'm sorry, just by a few snapshots. The way he think, the way he move, the way he think that he is so handsome and so gorgeous and so charming that he got it going on, that he's teaching a nation. All you doing is hurting people. He said, "Oh, because he said, oh, she's not her type." He settled. He didn't settle. Right? I'm pretty sure all those 3 women that you got are not your type. You're gonna want more. You're gonna crave for more. You're never gonna be satisfied. You're not a satisfied man, Kevin Wesley. You can't convince me that you are. You can't convince me that your women that you have surrounding you are satisfied. satisfying you every single night, right? Tyrese has money, right? He has plenty of money to have options. And he also, Kevin Wesley, went into a tirade, not even a tirade, I'm not going to exaggerate. He went into how how Tyrese's girlfriend was rubbing him down. Of course, it probably was a little bit too much, but I don't think that she meant anything harmful by it. He said, well, if that was a man doing that to a woman, you would call that misogynistic. No, we would not. That's how you think of it. Okay? That's how you think of it, Kevin Wesley. Talking about, oh, you're not seeing what I'm seeing. No, we don't see what you're seeing because you're a misogynist. You degrade and devalue women. You would never think a woman can have that type of dialogue with her man, because that's not the type of dialogue that you would have with a woman. Okay? Yes, his video tell a different story. Tyrese showed his fame side that we probably spoke about. But listen, that's the thing, right? Men like Kevin Wesley, who proclaim that they're masculine, who proclaim that they are the king, like he dressed in a costume. He sit at the table. He sit in his house with his hat on while eating dinner, right? That's like a minus for me, right? I don't want to slay this man in the most easiest way possible. But what did he expect Tyrese to do? Get up and slap that woman when she said that? He even hinted at talking about, oh, Tyrese was emotional, crying about his daughter, and that did not work. Like, you sound like you're a jealous man. You don't sound like you charming. You don't sound like you open to new ideas, Kevin Wesley. You sound like you have to have full control in your home at all time, right? And this is just the beginning of it. I haven't even begun to watch the whole show that him and his girlfriends put on. Tyrese, I saw a snippet. I just felt like, she probably was a little bit wrong in saying, like, who her type was. But like, if you feel like because you have a type that you automatically compatible, that's you are really in for a rude awakening. Okay. Most people, when you meet them, of course you have initial attraction to someone. And if you're not attracted to someone within a second, then there's no need for you to even make any attempts. But just because she said that's not his type, and then Kevin went on to say, oh, he was trying to say that Tyrese was ashamed and embarrassed by his girl. No, that's not the case. You are definitely, out of touch with reality. Kevin, you're just a hateful person. I'm sorry. There's nothing appealing about you. And I'm going to watch you and do more commentary on you because I feel like you're a fraud. Like, in all of your, like, if you go look at his page, Kevin Wesley, who he's trying to, like, he's trying to build a cult, like, organization, or a cult like nation, right? I don't believe in being submissive to a man. If a woman want to be submissive to a man, that is her prerogative. That is her choice, right? But he don't have no money. He don't have nothing to show. His house, oh my God. So the video that I came across, I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't even get to see a day in the life of my Polly Rise family part 1. You think that's like a flex? She stated she was exiting a bad relationship. Who said that? You talking about Tyrese's girlfriend? And he's a manipulator. You talking about that poly man, right? So, and when the video first opened, right? Oh gosh, let me see. Please, y'all, bear with me. Sorry. I'm going to get this down packed. If y'all want to put your phone on mute, go ahead. I didn't mean to do this, but I just want to describe of the scene. Hold on, y'all. I'm going to mute it for a second. No, I don't have to. All right. Ew. Okay, listen. So I'm going to watch him. Wait. Okay. Thank you, Lasagna. I'm going to watch him just so I can see what you're talking about, but I don't know how long I can. No, you can't. You're not going to be able to stand it, Coco Love. I'm just going to give you a little bit. I'm going to narrate just a little bit. I'm going to describe what's going on just a little bit, and y'all tell me whether it's worth it or not, just by me narrating. So this is Kevin Wesley. This is 11:11 p.m.
I was going to show you guys kind of the schedule of the family, kind of how we do.
He is not attractive.
Sunday night, I'm going to sleep with Jamie. I'll be waking up at around 4 in the morning, just like 4 hours from now, to go wake up with Lacey. Now, typically the schedule is on Sunday nights, I'll go to sleep with
the fact that he's talking to the camera, talking about he's going to sleep with one woman, and then, you know, this is at 11:11 p.m. They laying in the bed under the cover, and he got the cameras right in front of him, and she's lying on him with her hands on his shoulder. And I feel like he feel like he needs to have that control. Like, I don't see the comfort that he gives with a woman, and that's just the first time me glancing at him. I'm sorry.
Lacey for 4 hours, or go to sleep with Lacey. Wake up at 4 in the morning, and then come up and finish the night off with Jamie. And that starts Monday and Tuesday with Jamie, Wednesday and Thursday with Lacey, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I usually spend some time with myself. I do some work, spend some time with the children. I spend time with the children all through the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
He is a true brother. But listen, with the poly relationship, I'm just going to sum it up like this. Kevin Wesley, you don't have no money. It's just the optics of it. You just look like you got like a house full of maids that's sitting there catering to your needs. I know damn well you're not the type of man to give oral, because if you gave oral, your women will look a little more happier. If you scan through the video, if you fast forward through the video, you know, you will see that these women look like maids instead of girlfriends. The only time y'all look like y'all appropriate and look like y'all probably happy is when you taking a selfie or celebrating or going out. But in the house, they look like actual maids. In the house, they look like they are actually there to serve him, right? And I'm good morning. Let me fast forward. Oh my gosh, the video quality is absolutely terrible. This is all about him. Ew. And then now he got a full face in the camera. He is so feminine. Like, the camera is directly on. He looked like a beast with his ears poking out and his beard coming out. I know damn well he don't give oral sex out. And that's the thing. Y'all men sitting up talking about, oh, y'all need this, y'all need that. The reason why you would never be satisfied with a woman is because you don't give oral sex. That's why, you know, I'm just, I'm sorry. He filming himself like he's some king. You are whack. I'm sorry, Lasagna. You should have never told me about this fool. Okay? Now, ew, if you he act like that's his first time eating biscuits and gravy. He act like they both standing there in their robes, and he's sitting there acting like he is putting on a decent show. You don't have no money. They standing there in their robes. You would think like, okay, I want my woman to be submissive to me. She have to be up before me preparing the dinner. I shouldn't have to stand here and watch her prepare a dinner. This is just a show and a performance, right? If you are a submissive woman and you want to play the traditional role of a housewife, right, it should be more about you serving him, not about him telling you what to do and showing the people how he got each and every one of you in check. That is absolutely insane. She don't sound too intelligent. Intelligent women that has a clear and concise mind do not submit. Of course, you want to please your man and make your man feel good and stroke his ego and encourage and support him. But you do not need all that extra shit. He would never be satisfied. Okay? I'm sorry. Lasagna done did that. Goodness gracious. He wouldn't.
How much sugar do y'all put in your coffee? I put 2 spoonfuls.
This is just a freaking. He just want a reality show.
Tired of having to.
I'm sorry. I'm going to skip through that, y'all. But I'm sorry. I'm viewing the video and I'm giving my insight and my perspective. This is not a type of man you submit to. This is not even a type of man that I would think a woman should submit to. He don't have no money. His home is a hut. He he looked like he was coming home from oh shit. Oh god. Okay. Okay. Have you ever watched Sister Wives? No. He has all his wives in a nice set. Really? That's how you're supposed to do it. Right? And if you're going to have all your wives in one home, make sure you have a mansion so they can have their own quarter of the house. Make sure they have their own privacy, their own space. Right? Yo, I'm sorry, but why did y'all have to do this? Lasagna, why? Why did you have to show me this loser of a man? Okay. So now she's in the kitchen cooking. Well, all that salt and shit. Look at the towels on a wall. Like you definitely need a reconstruction and a renovation. All that salt. You just dare to show that you know how to cook. You just dare to show that you know how to clean or satisfy a man. Ew. I'm just saying. I know that is the truth, brother. And they had like a big thing a couple of months ago, and now fast forward to this, he's showing his life. All he is showing that he is insecure. He has nothing really going for himself. He need his ego stroked like all around the clock, and that's why he need different women to stroke his ego, right? I don't have a problem with see, she just cooking. I don't want to watch nobody cooking, right? I'm sorry, like that's just I'm just asking, like, what type of education do these women have if things don't work out with him and the situation, right? Where do they go from here, right? She don't even like vocalize that much. Like the way they ask him, like, may I ask you a favor? Like, what you mean? Can I ask you a favor? Why don't you just say, may you open this jar of mayonnaise for me instead of a favor? That's a favor. It's to open a jar of mayonnaise. Ugh, I'm sorry. It's nothing, really nothing. I'm watching. This is
one of my favorite spots to sit in. Okay.
You should see this house though. This is like too small for like 4 people and all these kids. He need a mansion. That's why I don't want to do commentary on this, because people were like, oh, you hate it, you don't got a man. But I would never want a man like this, right? I know how to take care of a man know how to take care of me. I would like to be in a relationship that is equal. All women and men should want an equal partnership, someone that you can confide in and someone that you can open up to, someone that you can feel safe around, and also know that if you have a problem that you can come to your spouse or your partner, right? Or not thinking that if I go to my man, will he hesitate to be, more receiving to what I don't know, being open, right? So men are supposed to be more logical. That's not logic right there, having 3 women and a bunch of children living in a hut. That's not logical to have 3 women and children living, I don't know, you don't have no money. That's not interesting to me. They should look pretty when they wake up. You show the video of your house. Like, that's not enticing to me. That's not interesting to me or appealing. You would have to have a mansion for me. Even if I even thought about being poly, you would have to have, space for me. You would have to have some type of income, knowing that when you die, because you probably died before me, because, your heart couldn't take all these women, I would like to know I will be okay. What you doing, Kevin Wesley, is exhibiting that you hiring maids for free. You getting sex for free, right? And you hide behind the Muslim culture. A lot of men do. They go in and they mock the Muslim culture, and they think that it's a flex. It's not a flex, right? You need more than you can handle. Any man that feel like a poly relationship, I'm not knocking, I'm just giving my insight and my opinion, my perspective. Any man that think poly is the way to go, or it's healthy, or maybe some women do think it's healthy. Some men think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy. I think it's disgusting. especially if you don't have the means to do so. You know who can do poly relationships? Someone like the status of Jay-Z, right? He got that status to do poly relationships. You know who could do, I'm just going to lay it out, millionaires. The only millionaires and billionaires should be doing poly relationships. Not this hood shit. This is hood shit. You gathered all your children's mothers into one home, and now y'all living together. You jump from one person to the other because you probably are little. I'm pretty sure he little. Wait. Actually, I wanted you to watch Tyrese's video. They took questions from the chat. They answers were honest and answers Kevin could not relate. Right. That's what all you want me to see, Tyrese. But what I saw in the beginning, Tyrese probably was a little taken back, but I'm on Tyrese's side. His girlfriend did not emasculate him, right? The main thing that she said, Lasani, that stood out to me the most is when she said Tyrese wasn't her type. He said she wasn't his type, her type. She wasn't his type. You know, he wasn't her type, but they made it work, right? I don't have a problem with that because she said now it's like a love story. And that's the thing, like us women, right? We like look over certain things. We feel like because we have a type, we are automatically compatible. And that's not always the case. Just because you have a type, that does not mean you are compatible. Tyrese, you know, he's not emasculated. We would never say he was emasculated. How the hell can a man like Kevin Wesley, who don't have no money near or even close to Tyrese, say that she emasculated him? This is the type of foul language that people like him use, that like is cultivated in a cult, in an organization, to act like he has some sense. I'm sorry. I'm just saying you shouldn't never said emasculate, right? But you, Kevin Wesley, don't even know what emasculate mean. Maybe a man can emasculate you quicker than another man or another woman can emasculate Tyrese. That wasn't emasculation. That goes to show you how biased you are in your opinion. That goes to show you how closed-minded and narrow-minded you are, that you're not open to see other things and how other things may go, not according to how you like it, but may go, right? I just felt like, you know, with Tyrese's girlfriend, she could have probably held off on saying that Paul Walker was her type, and that's it. She just could have said that he wasn't my type. We didn't hit it off, but we became friends, and, you know, stuff like that. But the fact that men feel like they can like talk down to another man and make fun of another man because their lifestyle is not conducive with their lifestyle, right? Tyrese could easily slay him and be like, you got a house full of maids, right? You run your house like a freaking military like home, and you don't have no money. You dress up in costumes just to act like you want to be some king. You are living in a fantasy, right? Are they officially married? I don't know. I'm sorry, Lasagna. I just had to go in with this guy because he's actually disgusting. I thought he was cute, but he's not. When he took off his hat, I'm like, oh no. Did y'all see the video? I'm telling you, there's a video. I'm going to point it out. There's a video where the other wife cooked for him, right? He's sitting on the sofa with his hat on. I don't know if he had his hat on, his kufi. He had something on his head. He ate out the plate that was like made of glop and shit. She filled his plate up way too much. He had too much on his plate. I don't care if you're a man or not. Like, eat like a human being, not like a freaking slob. He eat his food first. He took a couple of bites, and then he handed her the bone. She was staring in his plate and didn't eat the bone. Didn't eat the bone until he handed it to her, right? So if you're talking about you so polyamory, I don't know. Have they ever sat at the table and ate together? Like in my house, I feel like when a man said he lead, he really don't know how to lead. Like all of you should be sitting at the table, eating, having dinner, dressed properly, appropriately, not in your robes and shit. And the breakfast or should be prepared. Or it's just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Push back. I'm sorry, Lasagna. Why did you get me started? No, not at all. He was definitely a character to talk about. I'm sorry, Lasagna had to go there. That was a good one. I was like, what the hell Lasagna got me doing? She know I'm going to go in on Kevin Wesley, the poly man, the one that sit there, is 40 years old and still confused about his sexuality, right? And that brings me this. I want to share. Let me get off of Kevin Wesley before his nation of poly lovers, or I don't know what you may call it, come after me and say bitch and call me all types of bitches and call me all types of names and call me all types of uglies and call me all types of bitter, right? But anyway, let me tell you about my Friday. So I don't know if y'all know that I be dating and I have options and I'm not dating no one seriously because I'm a seductress. And this channel, we are all seductress. Not everyone, but the ones that embrace their seductress side, the ones that embrace their masculine and feminine side, the ones that embrace their powerful presence, right? So usually when a man tell a woman, and I'm going to tell y'all the truth, usually when a man tell a woman that she have masculine energy, and that's no such thing as masculine energy, maybe a masculine vibe, but that's just not the case. He's confusing it with like a sexual energy that us women seductress, and I'm going to say seductress, that like, it's a vibe, it's a feeling. I know that I put out a lot of the sexual energy. It's strong, and a lot of men may be scared of that, and they don't know how to handle it. But it's not like me being all sexy and sloppy. But it's just like a charisma. It's just like a charm. It's just like an enticement or an allurement. And some men are scared to come into that, be allured, right? It's a beautiful feeling for a woman to have sexual power and sexual energy, so to speak, or sexual vibe. Embrace it. No, keep on cleaning, Coco Love. I'm going to keep you here for another 20 minutes or so, and I'm just glad that y'all here. So I be meeting guys, and they tell me how they view me or perceive me, and I take it in and I take the criticism, but it's not a criticism as much as it's their insecurity that they project onto women that can stand tall and be independent thinker, a free thinker, have a strong, stable mind, and can stand with the best of them. And especially, a woman that can like relax and have fun and laugh and talk and communicate like adults, because humans are social creatures and they need to interact healthy, like in a healthy way, in a way where we don't like deprive ourselves of networking or meeting new people, just getting to know new people. And me at 42, I feel more confident in my 40s than I have ever felt before. So like if a man I'm interested in, I don't like make a intense approach. I give him a little hint, smile, whatever you do to show a man that you're interested in him, right? Rejection come. If you're a random guy and we talk and you don't have no interest in me, that's like, okay, I move on quickly. There's no need for me to waste my time to ask you or try to get to know why you not interested in me, right? And that's that. So Friday, I ran into one of my friends, a 65-year-old, and I haven't seen him I see him like here and there, not like often as I used to see him, because I go to a different store, different route. And he comes in the store. Now, mind you, he's 60. No, how old is he? 64, 60. I think he would be 64 years old. Yeah, he would be 64 years old. So we know everyone in the store. We all have the same relationship with the store owners. And he came in because I know when he come in, he eat a muffin. He buy a muffin and he take it and he go. So he came in, said good morning. I said, oh, such and such, I'll pay for your your muffin. The muffin, he orders a blueberry muffin. It's like $2. It was Friday. I was feeling good, and I said, let me just buy you a muffin. He's like, what he said, ladies and gentlemen, and possibly teenagers. I want teenagers in here too. I want to be, the person you pull up on your wall like a poster and say, oh, Bronx Girl gives a bit of inspiration, just a tad bit. So he says to me, he said, oh no, that's okay. I don't want to take anything away from your son. So I just started laughing because I turned to him and said, this 64-year-old man, why would I take away from, I said, no, I said, I'm gonna tell you what I said. I said, you think I would starve my son just to buy you a muffin? And he started laughing, right? So I paid for the muffin. He walks out. He couldn't just believe. And I said, it's okay for someone to buy you breakfast. People buy me breakfast all the time randomly, right? I pay it forward randomly. And I'm pretty sure anyone in this chat right now know how it feels to pay it forward. And they know how it feels for someone to do something for them randomly. That's an appreciation. It feels good either way. That's just a community of people we have, like charitable people. And I'm just going to say charitable. We are charitable, right? human beings naturally, socially, if you got good social skills, you are charitable. And shout out to all the charitable people and socially connected humans, right? So he couldn't like help himself. So I paid for the muffin, which was $2. He had to peel back. I guess he's going to give me the $2, like I guess pay me back. You know what I did? Because women are more logical and men are more emotional. You know what I did, ladies and gentlemen and teenagers, possibly? I took the $2 and I put it in the tip jar, right? That's how you like get off on a good date. Like if you're going on a date, like the man, if I feel like if a man asks you out, he treats you out, he said, yo, Leela, I want to take you out to dinner. I want to take you out to lunch. Okay, no problem. You take me out. You are responsible for paying for the bill because you asked me out. If I ask you out, I'm paying, right? But if you ask me out and you pay for the bill, I'm going to pay the tip. That's what I did. That's what I do. So I took the $2 that he gave me, that he paid for his muffin, that he would pay for his muffin, and I put it in the tip jar. And, he was taking it back. That just goes to show me that when men get up here and say, women are so emotional and men are so logical, like in that moment when money was exchanged, either it could have been a hustle, not a hustle, right? Does it sound like a hustle? Right? It's easy to hustle someone. Like if you have that type of skill or talent, that wasn't a hustle. That was just goes to show a man that's not used to spending money with a woman or know how things go. Right? You pay for the dinner and I tip the waiter or waitress. That's how I've been doing it. That's how I've always done it. That's how I feel it should go. If a woman take a man out and she pays for the dinner, you should be able to tip. If it's like a $30, $50 dinner, I expect or gather you would tip between $6 and $12. Right? Is that so hard? I'm just saying dating is not easy, but you go to show that these men profess their masculinity, they profess their bravado, they profess their macho men, how you say, what is it called? Outside, ulterior, because it's not interior, right? You want to be seen as a macho, masculine man that knows what to do and wants and know how to lead. I'm just giving you an example of how women lead and how it works out, right? If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. I know a lot of women are not up on this. If you marry, you already know you don't have to do that. Like I'm pretty sure married people have date nights, and if you are making a certain amount of money, like most people probably will split it. It's nothing wrong with splitting the meal, the bill. It's nothing wrong with that. But a man that's 64 years old that probably got like, how you get like intimidated by $2? Please, someone tell me, how do you get like intimidated by $2, right? If I say, oh, such and such, I want to pay for the muffin. It's breakfast. Breakfast is on me. It's okay to let someone buy you breakfast. It's no big deal. We've seen each other. We spoke on the phone. You say hi to my son. So when it comes to like really showing and caring who you are, it goes to show me that most people are not socially intelligent. Most people and most men that portray this macho masculine role don't know how to like spend money, don't know how to I don't know how to have a good time. But yeah, I did drop $2 and I he saw when I dropped the $2 in the tip bucket. I was like, okay, I bought you the muffin, you tip, just to make him feel, I guess, a little bit more secure with his manhood. I just felt like, okay, that's the same one that said he wanted to take me out. He never got around to it. I told him like we could have 3 dates. The first date, me and him have lunch. He work in the area. I go, we have slight lunch, coffee, nothing too big, or we don't have to eat at all, drink at all. Eating to me, it will be the last thing of a date I would think about. A snack should be involved, right? That'll break the ice. The second date, I said we could go out to the restaurant with me, him, and Zachary and just, chill out and talk. This is how he wanted it to go, and I agreed, but I had to give it a nudge. And the third date would be just me and him, whatever. It's not back to back. It's split up whenever we are available to see each other. The last date would be, I'll probably go to your house and we chill and we see how things work out. Nothing has to happen. I don't have to stay for long. But no, he couldn't follow those simple rules. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Men have the audacity to say that they want to lead, that they are more logical when they are put to the test, and when they are put to the forefront, some of them fumble. Not all of them, because we can't say all men are the same, but the men I have been dating, not dating, but just seeing and giving my number to, even if it's just a friendly conversation, like I not disregard. I'm just saying, in my mind, I say disregard for the simple fact that I don't want to have nothing else to do with people I have no interest in. I met another guy, we was walking and he gave me his number. I knew that I wasn't attracted to him, right? And I'm not gonna lie, if I'm not sexually attracted to you at all, there's no way that I will be ever sexually attracted to you. If I can't visualize I'm sorry if I have to like share my like thoughts and opinions and my ideology and beliefs with you, and maybe a little bit too much for some people, that's okay. But me speaking and getting to know my audience and being upfront and honest with you, and hopefully there are other women that can identify, or men that can identify in the audience. If I'm not sexually attracted to you from the first time I meet you, not even, it has to be automatically, because usually right there, like I don't know, it has to be a sexual attraction. I have to visualize me having sex with you. And if I can't visualize me having sex with you, I'm sorry, I'm not a whore. I have a whore mentality where I could date and see different men. I don't have to be physical with all of them. Just getting to know a man and knowing I don't want to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. So next. So I gave him my number. The guy that he called me 3 minutes after I gave him my number. He sent me a slew of texts. I blocked him. That is a nutcase right there. That is a lunatic, right? We women, we make ourselves available to y'all men to show y'all that we are easy and we lay back and we can have a good time. But the way y'all come on to us, how strong you come on to us, it's like put us in the corner. Like if you come on that strong the first time, that is scary. That is a red flag. I don't waste my time. Call me a whore, call me promiscuous, call me whatever you want to call me. I'm just letting you know I wouldn't waste my time on someone I don't have no interest in. Of course, you can have friends. Of course, you can have people that you talk to about certain things, That's nothing wrong with that. But as far as me trying to make something happen, no, not in that aspect. I already knew I was a sexual attractor. It's not about a type, right? It's about a sexual attraction for me. That's how I determine if I want to be, like, if I'm interested in someone beyond the scope of saying hello and getting to know them. And that's just how I am, because I put out a lot of sexual energy. It just reeks. Some men may think, oh, Leela, she a little bit too strong, but I'm here to let you know I'm more than a woman. And every woman that feel that way should let these men know we're more than a woman. We are a human being. We are of humans, and we do walk and talk like humans. We're not objects for you to degrade and devalue and demean, like Kevin Wesley degrade, devalue, and demean his women. All he does and all he have is a slew of maids that's in the same house to cut costs, to combine income. That's what they're doing, right? There's no way, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying there's no way that I could be so comfortable with another man jumping off of me and then jumping onto another woman, right? I feel like he should get down to the nitty gritty and tell us if he hang low. I definitely know he don't give oral sex, and most men don't give oral sex because they don't want a good sex life. And if you are a man in here today, and if you are young, please turn off this portion of the show. It's going to get a little bit gritty, and we as women should know, right? Like, we have standards too. We should have standards. If you meet a guy and he say he don't give oral sex, that could be a deal breaker for a lot of women, right? That could be overlooked. That can be not worked out, because if a man don't give oral sex now at the age of 40, he ain't gonna never give it, right? What would be disgusting? That would be disgusting. What would jumping off of me and go right? You know what I mean? So I'm like, men don't give oral sex. That's why your sex life is so like whack. The reason why he need those 3 women is because he don't give oral sex. He don't have to say he don't give oral sex. I never heard him say he don't give oral sex. He don't look like the type that give oral sex. He don't look like the type that he would want to please a woman. He don't care about the pleasure the woman may receive or should receive, right? So I just feel like now, like men that give oral sex are top billing, right? Giving oral sex and doing and having oral sex between a man and a woman equally is the best sex ever that you can have, right? Now, if you don't know, right, oral sex is just like it sets off the whole different atmosphere. Okay, you just cannot. Women just cannot be stimulated by penis, right? I'm just sorry that I have to talk like this because these poly women are missing out on a lot. Okay, they look miserable. They look like robots. They look like they are told what to do and told when to do it. No, I'm sorry. I will always be grateful for me being an independent thinker and a free spirited woman and a strong woman at that with a stable mind and don't conform. I feel like when you become a poly or you go into a poly relationship, you are conforming. I'm a non-conformist. I don't give in. They do. And that's the difference. And there's no way that anyone can make me understand their relationship or make me even consider it or make me even like that's not something that I will research because I feel like that's disgusting. He don't have no money to be in a poly relationship. They look like they are shacking up. They shacking up. He got a bunch of women that he can brainwash, right? That are brain dead. That look like they only speak when he say be spoken to. They just look like it's for a show. They just look hood like, right? And to end this live, Nick Cannon has about, and please forgive me, everyone, for saying what I'm about to say, but men feel like they could talk and do whatever they want to do, and they're supposed to be heard. And men are say, well, men have it hard. Okay, we know that men have it hard. So do women too. So, but when men say, oh, men have it hard, and they started a movement, a feminist movement, they were angry about that. Like, why would you be angry about a feminist movement that's supposed to award women their rights, right? So if a man say to you, oh, men have problems, and you respond to that man and say, then go get help, and the man respond to you in a rage, you don't want help. You don't have a problem, right? You want to make someone unhappy or miserable. If you have a problem and that you need to talk to someone and someone you need to for someone to identify or identify and help you get through your problems, right? Because all men could do is like talk to their woman. We're not here. We can't resolve anything because, like they said, women don't know about men issues. But men can't even cry with another man. They can't even open up to another man. They have to be stoic. They have to be, preserved. They have to be repress their emotions. If your homeboy, if you two guys and you sitting there opening up to your friend and you know that the only way that you could get something off your chest and cry in front of your homeboy or your friend or another man and he don't accept that, then you already know that you lost the battle, right? The next step is to go get therapy. A lot of people think therapy is not like worth it or a scam, and it's not a scam. But why do we have to bear the burden and just bear the burden of your emotions? That's not fair to us. That you have a problem and you don't want to get the help for your problem. That's unfair to people like me and other women that may have to endure that bullshit, which we don't. I won't. I'm sorry. I just. Not if you don't want to get help for yourself. I'm not here to be like a superwoman, and I don't have that type of personality. And to end things is just like with Nick Cannon, right? He got 12 children and 2 by one person. Wait, he got twins by one woman. He got 12. Oh, wait, he has 12 children and he has 10 different baby mamas, right? The only one he made into a decent family is his wife that has money. He said that he don't give the woman that had his baby an allowance. He just pay for child support. And you don't want your children to be called bastards. Out of 12 children, you had 10 bastards. And you think that's okay? You talking about you're not giving them a stipend. You don't give them money. You just having them sit there taking care of your baby. You're a sick lunatic. I'm sorry. Y'all talking about men think logically. Oh, so it's okay for Nick Cannon to go out there and produce 10 bastards and 2 regular children that's born into marriage. But he said that he don't take care of the woman, but he only paid child support. So you using them as fucking robots and shit. That's it, but men are logical, right? And women are emotional. Whatever. That's all I'm saying about this portion of the show. I really don't want to get into like doing reactions on other people because I know it could get heated, and I know a lot of people get offended and they'll take it the wrong way and they'll do all sorts of shit like dig into my family background just because I said something they don't like. So I will have to take that in stride. I will have to think about it. But I'm so happy that Lasagna brought that to my attention just to bring awareness to this man. Kept like a lot of people are not going to be able to watch it. It's like I could see if he was like some real king in Dubai or a Middle Eastern country, but you are here. Where they live in? Where they live in Atlanta? Okay, that's not cool. Kevin Wesley, the Truth Factory. Like I don't believe you. Like your costumes alone is scary, right? You putting on the front, you faking. I don't trust your word. I would not feel confident with you. I would not feel safe or secure with you. I would think you just another lunatic hiding under freaking a Muslim attire or coming to America. You're not that. You don't have the type of money to pull off. You don't. It's not even about. It's just about the optics of things, you know. Kevin and his 2 queens give 6 reasons you might be poly. Nah, that's even if I'm seeing a guy, dating a guy, and he tell me he have other friends, that's good. That gives me the option to have other friends too, right? But if you and this guy is seeing each other a little bit more than the other guys you've seen, there's a great chance you have interest in each other, right? But I'm not just settling down and because you have other women and I'm going to fight for your love. I don't fight for nobody love, not in that way. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have to fight for love. We shouldn't have to fight for love. What they're doing is fighting for love, and he's not going to pick the best because he's not the best, right? And I'll leave it at that. Shout out to all the women in this chat, and shout out to all the men in the chat, and probably teenagers too. I'm just joking. But I would just like to thank everyone for coming by and tuning in and listening and staying with me for this portion of the show. It's a great feeling. This is Monday morning, open, what's on your mind topics, and I just had to share that with you. I mean, at the end of the day, we all can do what we want to do. We are grown, consenting adults, consenting to whatever you may deem necessary, but that's just not what I would do. As long as you're all on board and have an idea of how things may go and everyone should know their position, then by means all do it. I don't have a problem with poly. That's not a problem. I just have the problem with the optics of it, right? I'm not enticed. Try again. Kevin Wesley and his maids. That's what they are, maids. Cheap ass maids. Cheap ass maids that he's having sex with. Thank you, Lasagna. I want everybody to have a great day on this Monday. I want everyone to be safe. Thank you for listening to my insight and my perspective. And I love you for listening. See y'all. Thank you, Lasagna. You're the greatest.